Hello and welcome to another episode of The Crowd.
Control.
Podcast.
And I'm your moderator, Dennis Lee.
I'm the panel, June,
Kevin.
Okay.
and he's another panel.
Yeah. Or, mystery guest. Could
Mystery
be.
guest
Mystery
that
guest.
always appears.
I
in
just
our
drop in
episodes.
every now and
He
then.
just drops in every now and then. So, how has life been so far the past week or so?
Our personal lives or
I don't know.
the
I
mean,
gaming
it could
lives
be
of
of
everyone
anything.
else.
Any life.
I mean, good news in Korea regarding the virus is that it's much, much better now.
Oh yes.
There was like only one locally transmitted infection today.
That was me.
Oh,
then we're screwed. Now there's three. now it's
Oh man.
But a lot of news to talk about this week, right?
Yeah.
A lot of announcements.
I think most announcements happened like literally last night.
Mm.
It just kept dropping.
And you were like busy telling us about it.
Yeah, because I was like,
Guys, look at this. Look at this.
because they just literally kept dropping. I was like, what? Which is good for us.
I mean, which is good for us because
Yeah.
that means we get a lot of
More scoops
headlight
for
time.
us.
yeah, and we get to talk about it when it's hot, right?
Yep.
It's still hot right now.
Yeah, it's boiling hot.
Hot and spicy.
But before we talk about I guess the bigger, more exciting, I don't know, quote unquote exciting maybe.
We're big boys.
Yeah.
Big boys, small fries.
But let's do a segment we started last week. Working title, news that isn't big enough to get to big boy, but we might talk about in the beginning of every podcast.
Uh-huh.
Working title. I thought of it a few times last night. Maybe we can shorten it a bit.
I'm hopeful that we are gonna shorten it. I don't want it that long.
So, there's like a small news, nothing too big. We'll talk about in this segment. Stuff that won't need 20 minutes to talk about, right?
Right.
Yup.
So the first one we'll talk about will be you want to talk about this Shogun 2 being free?
Oh yeah. I think it's a big boy. Shogun 2. My love.
Big boy, I guess.
Okay. Oh.
That was very hesitant.
Yeah.
Now
Okay.
your vote doesn't even matter.
Yeah. I'm only the tiebreaker. in
Okay,
this
then
case.
why is a big boy?
For me, Shogun 2 is one of the greatest Total War games ever that was made. One of the reasons is because I, for one, love Japanese culture. But it was
you lived in Japan for like almost a year. Was
yeah,
it?
no, it was like 8 months,
Okay,
almost
yeah.
a year.
Yeah, almost a year.
But Shogun 2 was the one where they introduced like diplomacy and like really complex unit types, and everything about Shogun War Total 2 was so thematically correct. So that's what I really liked about
They
it.
paid respect to
They
the
pay respect to
Japanese
Japanese culture.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
The units, if you look back now and if you play now, you're gonna be probably thinking like, oh, the graphics isn't that great.
I'll have to disagree with that. Even right now, Shogun 2's graphics just really holds up well. It has its own graphic
Oh yeah,
fidelity that just it's like
That
I think
does.
it's timeless. It's timeless in its own way.
that does. But I do have to say that it is very like.
What is the latest Total War game?
Warhammer 2.
Oh,
No,
oh
no,
wait,
no,
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 the
no,
Three Kingdoms.
Three
Oh,
Kingdoms.
right.
Might be the-
Yeah, that's the game. Yeah.
I mean, if you compare with Three Kingdoms right now, Shogun 2 is no match. But you have to respect games in the era that they were born.
Yeah.
And in that era, Shogun 2 was one of the most acclaimed Total War games.
not just Total War, like real-time strategy games, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
real-time
also
strategy.
if you did buy it during that time, you get like free Team Fortress 2 hats as well, which was pretty great.
Okay.
Now, well, after the DLC, which is like the Fall of the Shogun, came
Yeah.
out, and all the guns came out. Wow, that was so awesome. Because like you can produce like matchlock samurais. That was like my role playing kind of jumped out. And
Yeah.
I would be like shouting in my screen like, "Come on, guys, shoot, fire!"
Oh, that reminds you, like, did you watch The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise?
Oh, I did.
You know the scene where
Yeah.
they're like, go
and then they ride their horses like. "Ah!" Man, it was so fun.
Yeah. How about you, Kevin? What do you think about Shogun 2?
yeah, so I'm the guy with the guns. and Tom Cruise.
I remember. I think I played multiplayer with you once.
Yeah, and I just massacred his
Yeah.
army because I had all these.
I
like,
think that was Shogun.
Yeah, more
Yeah, 'cause
advanced troops
he had
and
the
guns.
expansion or something.
He had the expansion and I didn't, but I was like, Last Samurai, come on! And I had all my cavalry.
Did you have a white guy in your cavalry?
I think I did.
Okay.
I did.
You need a white guy
Yeah,
there.
only that guy survived.
He wasn't really white. He was just albino. That's just it.
He had his skin color.
He looks like Tom Cruise, right?
Oh man, You know, I was charging my troops against Kevin's forces. Man, the moment those 300 barrel guns
Yeah.
started like opening fire,
Okay.
it just mowed down everyone.
Yeah, because I had the
Okay, so-
Gatling gun thing.
Gatling gun.
Yeah. So to wrap it up, you know,
One of the best games. It is free on Steam right now, so if you haven't played it back then, you should go and check it out. It's really great.
I did buy the game on during sale
Yeah.
for like $10.
And
so
it's free.
it's
Like,
free.
Oh, I
now.
mean, it's too late for you.
Yeah,
but
it's
yeah,
free
it's
for
free
me.
for like
If
everyone.
only I didn't buy it back then.
Take it from me. I buy all my Total War games.
Yeah. Okay. Next, news item for the Gauntlet:
Hmm.
Fortnite Travis Scott collaboration concert.
No,
No.
small fry.
For me, it's a small fry.
Okay.
What about you?
I mean, I think it's big.
Personally.
Personally, I think it's big because of the whole the virus and the quarantine.
Then why don't you tell us like a minute?
Okay.
And
minute.
also me and June, we all had like experience in Fortnite as well.
Yeah.
So
And
Yeah.
we did dabble in it for a while. I was better
Yeah.
than Dennis. Did it.
I mean, I think it's big because it was like what 12 million views, and we don't see this type of collaboration ever.
I mean,
Like this has never happened.
our podcast is 12 million views.
That's
yeah,
yeah. But we never seen this collaboration ever. I think this is the first time or second time this ever happened in gaming. First one was when Marshmallow did a concert in Fortnite. So only Fortnite is doing this. So it's just interesting because
I
first
mean,
time
there's
happened.
Wreck-It Ralph, collaboration.
Yeah, and that's Fortnite too. And apparently it was really good. But anyway, since both of you have small
no,
fry,
actually,
we'll
it
move
sucked.
on.
I
Yep.
really did not
So,
like it.
what?
Wreck-It Ralph breaks the internet.
Oh, I like the movie.
I don't know.
like the movie.
Yeah,
no.
me too. But Kevin's always a hater, so
No,
Eh,
I mean, you did like the Star Wars, sequel, so
Last Jedi.
yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was good. It just I don't want to get into it. I have my reasons why people hate on it.
Okay, let's continue.
So, the next, since we moved on from that, we'll talk about the next one will be something that Kevin put up on our news was that Riot says that it will curb toxicity in their new game Valorant, which we haven't talked about, but
So you can just think of Valorant as like a CS:GO mixed with Overwatch.
yeah, like each character has their own power, but weapon loadout you
Yep.
can choose, right?
So you could have some bastardized, this is like version of Reaper and Mei with just guns. Like that's it. It looks nice. I think if
basically,
you
it's like a hero shooter.
yeah,
Yeah, a
little
basically.
bit.
Yeah. So since what apparently they're trying to curb toxicity in their community after their own employee post was like a object of sexual harassment.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
So
I would have to say, Big Boy.
okay.
I'm neutral on this one. I'll give you the.
No,
No,
it has to
you
be
have to
Small
decide.
Fry or
Yeah.
Big Boy.
I'm only tiebreaker.
I think it's a big one,
Okay.
especially when it comes to sexual
So
harassment.
yeah. So since Kevin, you brought it up first. What's your thoughts on that? Why you thought it was important to bring this up?
Because even like last year, right, there
Mhm.
has been this whole controversy with Riot Games and sexism within their industry.
Yeah.
Not just Riot Games, right? There's also like other like AAA title like publishers, developers who seems to just really negligate their female counterparts. They don't seem to get as much shine as whoever is within that industry.
Mhm. Yeah.
Because when you really think about those like really big like developers, like all those like big time people,
like Blizzard or.
yeah, you usually think of the guys. You don't really think of the females, right? It's their. I feel like their the spotlight on them is very underwhelming. They do a lot, like maybe a lot more than their male counterparts, and they don't get what they should get, the recognition.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it on social media a lot where if a female could be like a Twitch streamer
Right,
or a developer or just a fan of games, when they post something about games on Twitter, these what's the
Neckbeards.
yeah, incels.
Oh yeah, gamers.
Yeah, they come out of the woodworks, and they say that, oh, you're doing this for attention,
Right.
you're just an e-girl, or you're like a thought, or
But this is very and I think in any gaming atmosphere. I mean, if you ever play with like your female friends, your like friends are just girls.
Mhm.
There's like, unless you're in like a voice chat together as a group, you're gonna see a lot of harassment. If you're just like one on one with this other friend as a girl with you and you're playing, they do get these random harassments from these in like gamers that are a bit lonely and tend to ask for their, their ID, and
Yeah.
you're a girl and you're better than me, but hey, you're still a girl, so
Yeah.
etc. etc. Insults are thrown, and you could still say the gaming industry, not just gaming industry, even like just even on the consumer side is just dominated by men.
Yeah.
Mm.
But I feel like addressing toxicity in any game is so difficult. Like
Right.
League of Legends is very toxic.
Hmm.
You said Rainbow Six was toxic as well
It is.
from last week.
Yeah.
Right.
And companies I think have tried so much to sort of address it, but
Or dial it down.
yeah, but
Mm.
Grabbing toxicity is one of the hardest things to do online, is because, for one,
animosity, yeah.
animosity.
Yeah.
No,
Anonymity.
anonymity.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anonymity is one thing that they hide behind. So all these little kids who, as Kevin mentioned, like when a girl says something on like voice chat, a lot of the guys will be like, "Oh, it's an e-girl, like it's a
Yeah.
gamer girl," like, and a lot of the, like as you said on social media, when girls post things, usually guys would not think of them professionally, but guys would usually comment like, "Oh, she's pretty,"
Yeah.
which I guess is a form of objectifying girls. And I think in 2020, that's something that should be recognized as a problem and should be addressed. But it's not. It's hard to address when everyone is hiding behind, like, a hidden IP address.
Yeah. Or just a profile
Profile.
name.
Hmm.
Right. My bad.
You know, people learn from their mistakes.
I'll get spanked for that later. But yeah, it's a sad culture that we still have.
Mhm.
Hmm.
It is. Yeah. I mean,
But we can't really say it's just the gaming industry. It's
yeah.
in every
everywhere.
industry.
Of course.
It's saturated
Yeah.
everywhere. So
Yeah.
girls do have it a little harder, but I do think girls are more mature than us. So when they-
Oh, whoa! It's subjectively
I
for
mean-
both sexes, I say.
usually that's the case.
I think it's like trial by fire.
Right,
the
right,
girls
It
they've
is.
been exposed to
Right.
Mm.
all these threats and
But I don't think professionally girls are hindered in entering the gaming industry. It's just a little harder.
A lot harder.
yeah.
It's harder
Anyway,
to be taken seriously.
yeah. Hopefully we'll see improvement.
Mhm.
But
But I mean, if Riot Games, such as these companies, start to dial those down, I guess a lot of the small companies will all follow suit,
yeah.
Right, right.
which is always a good thing.
Maybe
Mhm.
even like incentivize
Right.
these like
Yeah.
female employees to come into their industry as well.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah. Hopefully it got better. We'll see.
Mm.
Yep.
Okay. Now let's move on to the really big news.
Right.
The exciting stuff.
Ooh, my palms are sweaty.
And this is hot off the press. Like literally like last night. Was it like what 3 a.m.?
What is that Eminem song again? My palms are sweaty.
Knees
weak.
weak, mom spaghetti.
Mom spaghetti. Oh, I was like thinking about that when you were talking.
Yeah. So this is like hot off the press.
Right.
So just a bit of a background. I think it was just 2 days ago.
Mm.
Ubisoft had a stream on Twitch
Mm.
of an artist drawing. It was it was an 8-hour stream.
Wasn't it like Tommy Lee,
I'm not familiar with who the artist is.
Uh-huh.
your brother?
hey, let's keep it anonymity.
Okay, so there's an artist drawing, and people are like confused, like, what is he doing? Like, what is this stream? And then as time went on, people realized that he was drawing like Vikings in the background and mountains.
And they say he's drawing a giant dick.
Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa.
And then people started to realize, because I know we bring up his name a lot, but Jason Schreier did report on this last year.
Yeah, I should really do like a special effect for this, like Jason Schreier.
Yeah.
It's like a god.
He did report on this last year that Assassin's Creed next game would be like a Viking setting.
Like a northern
Mhm.
setting.
Yeah, northern setting, and it was codenamed Kingdoms.
Mm.
So obviously we knew this was coming. We just weren't sure when it was coming.
By the way, I didn't like the name Kingdoms. It just felt too Chinese.
I mean, you're.
Oh no!
Oh
But
yeah,
that,
he's
that was
playing
just
through
their,
Kingdoms
that,
right
that,
now.
was, that was just their
Right,
code name for
Like
their.
back then, I didn't really like
Yeah,
it.
it was a code name because like all, when they make games, they always have a code name at the beginning,
Mm.
Right.
just to like, because they don't want to reveal the
Yeah,
the
like
real
Project
name.
Project
Real, like,
Titan, the
theme,
cancel
yeah,
MMORPG.
of the game.
Right.
So it was codenamed Kingdoms.
Mm.
So we knew this was coming, and then the stream finished, and then that's when they announced it. Assassin's Creed Valhalla is the next Assassin's Creed game.
Right.
I love it. I mean, recently I've also played Odyssey.
Yeah.
So I'm all about the AS games.
Yeah. AC.
AC. I'm sorry. I mean,
AS?
as in
What's
assassin.
AS?
Okay.
Assassin.
Oh. It's like all about the ass game.
As game.
Yeah.
AC game.
So
AC game.
June, initial thoughts.
Well, both Dennis and Kevin knows that I'm a huge fan of the Nordic culture. Not only Japanese, but Northern culture. Like, when I played Total War Attila, I would always play the Norse faction.
Mm-hmm.
So it was one of the biggest things. When I looked at the trailer, man, I was so
We'll talk about trailer later. Just like
Oh,
initial thoughts
just
on,
initial shot, okay.
of the announcement.
really excited.
Mm-hmm.
I read a little bit about it. The combat's gonna be really
Yeah.
brutal and
We'll get into that.
visceral, which is typical of the northern fights.
Yeah, exactly.
And I hope I get to like role play a little bit as the northern factions. It's just really excited
So
about it.
your hype levels are
Yeah, just through the roof. I like the theme that they chose.
okay.
How they carry
the
that out.
setting?
Yeah.
How about you, Kevin? Initial thoughts on just the announcement of the game, the fact it's coming.
I would say not. I would say maybe a little bit excited,
Okay.
but not hyped for it.
Okay.
Since my last iteration, the game I played was actually Assassin's Creed 2.
Wow.
It's a long time.
That's a
ago.
long
Wait, did you
time
play
ago.
Assassin's Creed Black Flag?
Are you going to say Black Flag?
he had an effect of.
Yeah. I mean,
so,
Black Flag is my favorite.
but I
Assassin's
did
Creed
see the gameplays from all these different YouTubers and
Of
just
the
saw
previous
the,
Assassin's
yeah,
Creed
I
games.
saw like the gameplays, the different cutscenes
Like
and all of
Odyssey
it. So I
and,
actually
like-
followed through all of it.
Right.
And after seeing the trailer, I was actually pretty impressed. Just not by just the trailer itself, but just the entire fact the atmosphere was very
Okay.
great.
So
I
let's talk
liked
about
it.
let's talk
It's
about the
good.
trailer now.
It was good.
So I have my thoughts on the trailer,
Okay.
but before we get into that, what did you think of the trailer?
Yeah, I mean, we gave ours. I mean, what about you first?
On the trailer,
Yeah.
to be honest,
Were you a little disappointed?
yeah, I was a little disappointed.
I thought I garnered as much.
Yeah, because
Because you're a big gameplay guy, aren't you?
I mean, the trailer was nice. It was well made.
Mm.
There was a story in it. It was like
yeah.
it
It's
looked
like cinematic.
Nice. Yeah, CGI, whatever.
Typical.
It's like I don't think it's in game.
No, it's not,
in
it's not.
engine.
It's
So
not.
it's like
It's the typical like Blizzard kind of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
story,
Yeah.
really well made cinematic.
But the thing about Blizzard is like there are characters that we know and love,
Right,
which
right.
makes it more exciting. But this is like
so we can't even relate.
yeah,
to
we
it.
don't even know who this is.
Oh.
And to be honest, for the first 90% of the trailer, you wouldn't know it's an Assassin's Creed game.
Oh, of
Right?
course.
You just be like,
It's just that the.
Is
it's
this like a drama?
yeah, like it's just like Viking.
like I think the last portion of it, he takes out the hidden blade.
Yeah,
it's not under or it's over or.
Yeah.
Whoa. I know
It's like-
that.
That's one thing I actually don't like is somehow this signature knife of the Assassin's Creed doesn't really fit with the whole Viking era. Like it just doesn't fit.
But I think that's like the twist they added to it.
Right. I
Yeah.
know.
Right. So
Yeah.
like he's
I
a
mean,
Viking, but
And you can't not have it because it's not gonna be Assassin's Viking. It's gotta be Assassin's Creed.
But I heard that there were no hidden blades in Odyssey.
no, wait.
What?
Odyssey.
Yeah,
No, there is.
there is.
Wait.
Because I heard there wasn't. Because I didn't play Odyssey.
Oh my god, I played Odyssey for 90 hours. Oh, I don't. Was there?
I'm sorry to put you on the spot. But
No, but it's because there's so many weapon types.
yeah,
that
but I heard like
But
Yeah.
usually you don't use.
Yeah.
No, I don't think you use.
because like that was before the Assassins were
There's no.
established, right?
If
Right.
if my memory serves me correctly, there are daggers that you wield.
Yeah, but
and
there are no
even in
hidden blades.
assassinations. You use those daggers.
Yeah.
You don't use. Correct me if I'm wrong.
We'll correct it next week.
Yeah,
Next
because like
episode.
the Assassin's Creed like itself, the signature blade is a hidden blade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You always expect that.
Yeah. So I think Odyssey. I'm not sure if it's correct. It's because I haven't played the game, but I heard there were no hidden blades. So there's like a return of that weapon for
Right.
Valhalla.
But the good thing is, like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, we're gonna be able to choose between
Yeah.
male and female protagonists,
Yeah.
which is awesome.
Yeah. So
Mm.
since we're still on the trailer, what did you think of the trailer?
I typically like, of course, like Vikings. But
Yeah.
the image I got from the cinematics was kind of like, do you know the Netflix drama called Vikings?
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yes.
think everyone knows.
Yeah.
That's kind of the image I got, and the
Mhm.
main character, although his name isn't Ragnar,
Yeah.
I kind of got like the Ragnar
Yeah.
feel. And
I mean, he's like very typical of a Viking main character.
Viking clan
Like
leader.
blonde
And
hair.
a kite.
Yeah,
Why is it
kite.
always blonde? Why?
I mean, do you have something against blonde?
I don't.
I mean, Vikings were like, they were usually blonde hair, right? Or white, they're white people. So,
Yeah, right.
There's no complaints for me except
Yeah.
for that last part where he kind of put that dagger out. It was a little, I don't know.
Huh. Okay.
How about you, Kevin? Any thoughts on the trailer?
I like the trailer just because of the historical atmosphere,
Yeah.
right? It's like you just expect just like Vikings fighting Vikings, but then you see like these English troops back in Dark Ages fighting
Yeah.
the Vikings
Oh,
as
yeah.
well. So that was pretty cool. I like that. It was
Yeah.
like, oh look, these are non-Vikings. This is pretty
Yeah.
fun.
I thought
yeah.
that was pretty historically accurate as well. Was because back in those days, Vikings would actually raid English shores in
Right,
order
right.
to, and then they would like try to settle there.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this thematically is really accurate.
Yeah. Apparently, that king in the trailer is a king. I'm not sure if I pronounced this correctly. Ilfred.
Oh, I heard of that in the Viking drama. It's something like that.
Yeah, he was an English king. He was one
Was
of
it the Wessex king or King of Wessex or
yes, King Alfred of Wessex.
Okay,
Yeah.
see, I knew it.
So apparently, he was one of the English kings who actually pushed back.
Yes,
he was, he was,
on
he was
the-
just sick of it. He's like,
Yeah.
that's it.
He pushed them back.
He pushed them back. He was like his nickname's like Alfred the Great or whatever.
yeah.
He's considered one of the great kings. So he's apparently the quote unquote antagonist of
But
this game.
I also know that after they pushed them back, the Vikings actually mustered the so-called Grey Army,
Mhm.
and they invaded England once and for all.
Okay, so the trailer, it wasn't exciting because other than the setting, which we all knew was gonna be Viking, they didn't really show anything
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
new about the game, right?
It's just like oh cameo, hidden blade.
Yeah.
Oh.
That was
Wow.
like for me. That was the most exciting part because I was like watching. I was like, what's new? Like,
I think maybe they did it on purpose, was to just ease us a little into the
Yeah.
theme, like because Viking life isn't all about fighting and all that. It's
Yeah.
sometimes it's about settling, sometimes it's trying to find new land. So
but like most of the trailer was fighting, which is the
Right.
problem.
I mean, it was just like a run-of-the-mill Viking game. It will
Yeah.
still be impressive.
Yeah, I
but-
mean, don't get me wrong. The trailer
Right,
was
right.
very impressively made.
it
Right.
was.
But as for Assassin's Creed game, you
Yeah.
don't like.
Yeah, like, that's the thing.
Yeah,
This
it's
is an
like
Assassin's Creed
it's like
game.
Black Flag, you know. It's like you like, oh, it's a
But
pirate
at
game.
least since it's under the flag of Assassin's Creed,
Yeah.
we kind of know
Yeah,
what
we
it's gonna be.
we knew
about.
what's gonna
Like,
be about.
Probably it's gonna have the theme where you kind of climb up this thing and you like have like an eagle pet
Yeah.
or something. I don't
Oh, it's
know.
a raven because of Odin's animal
Right.
is a
Oh,
raven.
right.
Mm.
So you climb that up and you kind of look at
Yeah.
the background. That's kind of the. But I did hear, I think from like a podcast 2 months ago,
Mhm.
they did say they were gonna switch up their gameplay a little bit. Do
Yeah,
you remember that?
I
Mm.
mean, we'll see.
But I'm not
Yeah.
sure. It wasn't.
Apparently, gameplay reveal is gonna happen during Xbox Series X's event, which
Right.
we'll talk about later.
And even better, it said their release date is around the holidays
Yeah.
of
I
like,
think
2020.
Oh,
most
but that's
people-
not really it's not really set in stone, is it?
Yeah, but it's probably gonna be November.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right,
most
right.
likely.
And it's gonna come like on the both
So,
generations, the
yeah.
next generation and the current
It's a
generation.
cross-gen game.
Right,
So
right.
cross-gen game means that it comes out for 2 generations.
Mm.
So it's gonna come out for PS4, Xbox One, PS5, Xbox Series X, Google Stadia, and for PC it's gonna be an Epic Game Store exclusive.
Well, one
Exclusively.
twist as well. You can also play like both sexes. You can play a female and a male
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
the,
yeah, yeah.
Oh, you just
Yeah,
you
yeah,
just mentioned that. Right?
There's one
Okay.
thing that I do like about this one is that other than other Assassin's Creed games didn't really allow you to base build. This one actually
has.
does.
So I'm
Mm.
gonna get into that right now.
Okay.
So
okay.
Here's the feature list. So in their words, there's a dark age open world. I mean, open world games are very typical
Right.
of Assassin's Creed games. Visceral combat system,
Oh,
which
yeah.
which is what you
Mm.
mentioned. Apparently, there's like beheadings,
And you can throw
And-
axes,
Yeah.
which like that's the Viking spirit right
and
there.
I think when you said that the gameplay is gonna be different, it was this part is apparently you can dual wield any combination of weapons.
Like 2 shields.
Just like using two shields.
The ultimate defense.
Yeah.
Defense and offense.
Or like double spear. I don't know.
I mean,
Apparently,
that's possible.
yeah, there's like more combinations of dual wielding, and you lead epic raids. Is
Right.
what they're
Ah.
is the words they use.
But I'm hoping when they do these epic raids, it's actually an epic raid.
Yeah, they
Like-
did say that the scale is pretty big, is what they said. But obviously, we don't know
So
until we actually
like
see it.
subjective big, right? It's like, oh, you're big.
Yeah.
What one comment I do want to have about the
Mhm.
epic raids is I did partake in those raids in Assassin's Creed Odyssey,
Yeah.
it was very computer generated feel. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't actually like a real war
It didn't feel
combat thing.
dynamic.
Yeah,
Right.
very linear,
Like,
right?
It was very linear. I feel like it would have been much more immersive if, for example, if we're the Vikings, right? We are all starting like a shield wall, and then under your command, you're like break shield wall, and like you push and like just slam
Yeah.
forward, and then like you can command your troops, just kind of like Bannerlord.
Thing is, even for Bannerlord, which is supposed to be such like a medieval battle simulator, right?
Right.
They still haven't tied that down completely. Now I find it hard for maybe of course it's a AAA studio, right?
Right.
How are they gonna do this with Assassin's Creed?
Right.
Like when you're supposed to be like an assassin Viking, how are they gonna mix it
Yeah.
with the entire point of what Assassin's Creed is?
Yeah. I mean, we'll see.
yeah, we'll
Obviously,
see. Right.
next week we'll see
I
next
just
week.
hope.
Actually,
Mm.
next
Right.
week is when they reveal the gameplay.
Because what's
So-
interesting is that the settlement thing. So you can technically think of it as the the Black Flag,
Yeah. So
the
I,
ship
I
where
was
you
about to bring
manage
this
it.
up. Construct and upgrade buildings that allow for deep customization,
Right.
including a barracks, blacksmith, tattoo parlor, and more.
I mean that's one aspect of the game that you really like, right?
I love
you like
when
base building.
I love when you create something like a community
Mm.
is what I love.
Yeah, but then like the Black
Black,
I was
Black
trying,
flags.
I was actually trying to say Black Flag,
Yeah,
and I was like Black Flag.
man, the
Yeah.
Asian
but
is
I
too
think
real.
almost every AC game has sort of like
Right.
a settlement building
But that's
aspect.
not the central
Yeah.
piece.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
always like the
Yeah,
side
so
kind
like
of thing.
Black Flag had that. 3 had it.
Right.
2 also had it as well.
To the
Yeah, 2
A
had
lot
it.
of the
2 had
time,
it.
even in Black Flag, you rarely return to your settlement.
Yeah.
Like,
because you have
one
your
of-
ship.
That's one
Yeah.
of my biggest
Did Odyssey have one?
Odyssey. Odyssey, no, not in my.
Okay.
I didn't finish the game.
Yeah.
But according to my memory, you don't really have a home
Yeah,
because
so
your home is destroyed.
I think the difference is this is central to the
Mm.
game.
I mean, it makes sense. Is because Vikings return home
Yeah.
after their plentiful
Yeah.
plundering, so that makes sense. It's just I hope that plays a centerpiece.
Yeah, it apparently it does. So if you get more into it, so apparently in Valhalla there are sort of politics involved as well.
Mm.
Right.
So you can like sort of deal things with violence, or you can use diplomacy.
Right.
And apparently you can like also like marry 2 clans together.
Oh,
kind
God.
of like Total War kind of thing.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna mention like marry your second sister.
No,
I mean,
like,
that's totally possible. Back in
I mean
that
that's
day.
historically accurate, but
I mean, what? I mean, you have a brother, right?
we're not that close yet. I mean,
So yeah, apparently there's more like diplomacy involved. There are like decisions that you can make to sort of create alliances.
So the
in
world
this
is
game.
more active.
Yeah, is what I'm
that's
getting.
nice.
So
mm.
it's not your settlement is gonna be this one thing where you just go for upgrades.
I can't
Yeah.
even imagine how Assassin's Creed is gonna pull that up because from what I'm reading and what I'm hearing, it's so different from what I played in Assassin's Creed
Yeah.
Odyssey. Assassin's Creed Odyssey is basically you go on this quest
Yeah,
and there is no base building. You just one-man army just trying to go against the world, and that's easier than building this intricate world where everything is kind of connected.
yeah, exactly.
So,
But they did say that 15 studios are developing this game.
I mean,
Mm.
usually I would be impressed by that, but after what happened to Fallout, I'm not impressed by the quantity of studios involved.
But I mean, this has been in development for 2.5 years apparently.
Right.
Ubisoft Montreal
Mm.
is leading. They're the ones who made Black Flags and
Mm.
Origins.
I think for now I'm pretty trusting of Ubisoft because in the recent track record
Yeah, as
they
of
haven't
late,
they
yeah.
haven't
Yeah.
done really anything bad.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm pretty trustworthy. I think
So-
they're pretty trustworthy.
The main character's name is I don't know if I can pronounce it correctly.
Alvir.
Eivor.
Is-
Eivor. Eivor.
It's either
Ye-
I
oh, wait.
or
Ivor.
Eivor.
Eivor.
Eivor. I don't know.
Eivor.
We're probably like
oh A. Like
It's like
Eivor.
we're probably
Eivor.
butchering his name,
But
but
it does say Eivor, like A.
yeah, but like we don't.
Sounds like some Italian guys. Like,
Yeah.
Eivor.
Hey,
For
Hey.
so I guess it's nice that they've brought back sort of. They can choose your gender, male, female.
Mm.
I'm definitely gonna choose female. Might as well.
So, are there anything that sort of, what's grabs your attention when it comes to Valhalla? What's the thing that's,
I think the fact that the combat's gonna be brutal.
is that your most
That's
important?
because even in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, one of the things that I loved was the executions. And the fact that the executions are going to be brutal and visceral, man, I'm looking forward to it. I'm, of course, as a true Viking Norseman or a woman, Norse woman, I'll be wielding 2 double axes. I'm looking forward to it.
Double axes, okay.
Of course. With a shield on my back for
Yeah.
my shield wall, if there
Yeah.
is.
How about you, Kevin? Is there anything that grabs your attention regarding this game? Because you said you weren't as hyped.
I would say the environment,
Okay.
the Norse environment, the English environment. What's up?
Oh, he said he wasn't hyped. So,
So
I'll
are
poke
you
him.
talking about the setting or?
The setting.
Yeah.
No, actually, there's a setting and the environment because there's a lot to see, right? There's like the Viking ships, there's the English settlements you'll be able to raid
You
and
can.
destroy.
There are 3 cities as well to visit,
Mhm.
apparently. So I don't know how expensive or big it's gonna be.
So I'm guessing maybe like some Viking city and also the English cities as well. So I think that would be pretty interesting just to see how they design the entire place. Like how does it look?
You know, there's one thing that I actually want in this game is kind of that role-playing factor of whether or not we can actually cook in this game.
What?
I don't know. It's just if they add it, it's like an extra sprinkle of spices for me.
Yeah, I mean, I do love cooking. in
Yeah, I
games.
mean, recently I've been into a lot of these games where they allow cooking.
Mhm.
For example, Zelda. Man, I love to do like new recipes.
Yeah,
If in Valhalla they allow me to catch a boar, because in Assassin's Creed catching animals was part of a thing.
yeah.
Like you can
The
get
the
furs,
crafting.
right?
Yeah.
But
There's
if
like
they allow me,
There's
to
like a Cooking Mama mini game inside there.
not a mini game, like
you like a touchpad. It's like
and then they allow you to like skin the boar.
yeah,
Man, that's gonna be so cool
yeah.
if they allow to do that.
But I think one gripe I have was like when I saw the title, I thought it was gonna be literally Valhalla.
Like you die.
Yeah, I thought it was like the fantastical, like the heaven Valhalla.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's like an eternal war. You get to fight
Yeah.
fight as assassin in like the Viking heaven.
Apparently, there is
That's
gonna
what
be
I
like
thought.
mythology involved. Because in Odyssey, they had like Greek
Yeah.
mythology characters, right?
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
a lot of the stories were actually a lot of the quests. Some of them are smartly integrated. Like the stories of
Mhm.
gods were integrated into the quests.
Yeah. I'm also hyped because I didn't play Odyssey and Origins. I do want to play Odyssey though, so I'll probably play that game before Valhalla comes out. But the
I mean-
setting of Valhalla appeals to me way more than Odyssey
Of course.
and Origin because
I
I
mean-
do like Greek.
I mean,
you
if you're a true man, Ragnar Lothbrok should appeal to you.
nothing wrong with Greek setting and Greek mythology, but Vikings they just have it's more appealing.
Right. It's
Yeah.
it's just there's something like
And then the next Assassin's Creed game should be feudal Japan.
oh man. you know a lot in the comments when you look at the comment section, people are like, a lot of people have been asking about this and like, feudal Japan. What about me?
I think the two most demanded were always Vikings and feudal Japan.
I mean,
So now we got Vikings.
Everyone loves, like I said, everyone
yeah,
loves
just
Japan.
ninjas and Vikings. That's what we all
Not
like.
ninjas,
Samurais.
samurai.
Samurais are the
samurai.
ones. Yeah.
Bushido.
Oh yeah, that too.
Okay, so let's move on to the next.
Oh, do we have to move on? We can
Yeah,
talk
I'm,
about
I'm
this.
sorry. Maybe next week we can talk about the gameplay comes on next
And once
week.
again,
Once-
we're on time. You know?
Yeah.
we have
Yeah,
to,
we have limited time, so we have to move on.
Damn it. Okay.
So this is not exciting news. This is somewhat sad, somber news. But
Okay, let's move on.
I say the small first. So
Yeah.
let's continue.
so one of the biggest games of this year and most hyped games of this generation, Last of Us Part 2, apparently the whole game got leaked on YouTube apparently.
Uh-huh.
And there are rumors that a disgruntled Naughty Dog employee is behind these leaks. And I think it's crazy because I don't think this is almost never
It
happened,
never happened.
where a whole game, especially as big as Last of Us Part 2, just
Yeah, I mean the last one I can think of is like the thematic ending for the Heart of the Swarm in StarCraft 2.
did,
That
it,
was
did I get
supposed-
leaked?
Yeah, and they changed the ending or something.
Oh, because of the leak?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
but
But this is like literally
Yeah,
the
this is
whole
like the entire
this guy
thing.
is really living up to his name, Naughty Dog.
yeah, sure.
He's being a naughty
Yeah.
dog.
So apparently he is like, it's either he was sick of the crunch, or apparently it was because of pay dispute.
Right.
Mm.
But
But we can obviously tell it's disgruntled because this is not a new marketing tactic.
yeah.
I mean, if it is, it just blew my mind.
I mean, they
Dude,
could pull a Sonic the Hedgehog movie. You know, they go like, oh hey, here's a
Yeah,
plot, but
they
it's
didn't
not.
want to sell too many
Right.
copies.
Right? Like they wanted to give it for free. Who knows? I mean, whoa.
But another report came out recently by Jason Schreier that
Our God.
Yeah, he did talk to various Naughty Dog employees,
Mm.
obviously anonymously, and he did say that the people who were most angry about the crunch culture of Naughty Dog were also sad or like devastated about this.
Of course.
Because it's something they worked so hard,
Yeah.
and
I
then
mean,
for it to be
even
ruined.
even if they were like disgruntled about it, I mean, as like a producer of anything, they feel the satisfaction of getting it complete. But someone took that away from them.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah,
Like-
it's those damn kids walking on and running on your lawn.
and
you
it's
know?
not gonna it's not like a project where they can just start from scratch. Like they can okay, let's just make a new one.
Yeah, I mean, they've been working for like 5 years,
Yeah.
4 years,
So it's
and
I mean, you'll be looking forward to The Last of Us.
yeah,
Because this is actually one of the games you can actually play.
yeah,
One of the horror kind of games
Yeah.
you can actually play.
yeah. Because, I mean, I forced myself to play because I love.
Are you gonna force yourself to play Last of Us 2?
Oh yes,
It's like abusive relationship. You just keep on going for more.
It's like going back to your ex-girlfriend.
I'll probably look up a guide on scary parts to know which
Okay.
parts are scary.
Is my girlfriend hitting me? Is it love?
Yeah. Because like, you see social media and the reactions to this, and there are some reactions that are like, oh, what a terrible thing to happen to Naughty Dog, especially for the employees who work so hard on this game, and for them who are so excited for people to experience this game fresh or like firsthand, and now
Uh-huh.
that it's all ruined.
Mm.
And there are also people who are like, it serves them right for,
Yeah,
crunching.
stick
and-
it to the
yeah,
man.
stick it to the man, stick it to the corporation, And I do kind of see those people's perspective. Like
Kinda
I
like
do,
both parts.
yeah, I do get why they feel that way, but at the same time, these employees work long, extremely long hours.
I don't know. For me, it just does feel a little bit selfish on
Yeah,
whoever
exactly.
did it.
Because like the workers work extremely long hours. They poured their heart and soul into this game,
And it
and
feels
then-
like it's a short-term like revenge.
and I feel like this won't help any of their problems. Right.
Right.
This isn't something that can.
Actually, it might actually make it worse.
Yeah. Like, to solve stuff like crunch or paid disputes or whatever, it should be like a unionized effort
Hmm.
among the workers instead of this rogue.
But you know what we
rogue
talked about
agent.
last time? There's the reason why they crunch, so they don't unionize. They're too busy.
That is true.
Yeah, so like this rogue person who takes matters in his own hands and ruins it for all his colleagues. It's sad.
Are you gonna watch it?
No, I've been avoiding
Hmm.
the spoilers. And but it's hard because if you just go on like Twitter or Reddit and you see like, a news about like, oh, an Animal Crossing, and then you read the comments and like, boom, Last of Us 2 spoilers.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
One part got spoiled for me already.
Really?
Yeah, because I was looking at Animal Crossing stuff, and then people are like bombarding, like any game related like tweet or article or video.
Man,
in
that's
the
that's
comments.
selfish as well.
Exactly, like they don't, and they're like bombarding people with spoilers.
This should kind of be like a movement where like the Marvel movie Avengers. It should
Yeah.
kind of be like that Endgame,
Yeah.
where everyone has like to pick a pact of like we're not gonna spoil
yeah,
anything. That should be kind of like. But I mean, like I said last time, like gamers are like.
I mean,
They get
it
butthurt
is
easily.
incredibly selfish. Way back when Skyrim came out, there was a comment saying like, "Until I took the arrow to the knee."
yeah.
That's like a spoiler. Like you didn't know the guard was a hero
I mean,
until he took the arrow
I
to the
mean,
knee.
if that's the extent of the spoiler,
Okay.
I don't mind.
Me too. You could
No,
spoil
but
that for me.
I mean,
to Naughty Dog, it's literally to them, it's like an
Yeah.
arrow to the knee.
Yeah.
They're like, oh fuck,
Yeah. So
I can't believe you done this.
that's a good metaphor.
yeah. So how about you, Kevin? You've been, what do you think of this whole situation?
Once again, I don't own like a PlayStation 4.
Yeah, but this situation
Right,
of
But it's like very surprising. It's like one of the flagship title games for the Sony, right?
Yeah.
And the fact
it's
that
the flagship title game for Sony.
there could be others. Like,
No, yeah, but
there are
no,
others.
yeah,
there are
but no,
others
but
too.
I'm talking about the this was the
Oh yeah, one of the things you really
Like
Yeah.
don't
the as
talk
in
about-
capital
one of
T
the-
yeah,
H E.
it was like
Like with all.
And I will have to say it's very. It's. I'm sure there has been other leaks as
I mean
well.
there have been leaks, but not
No,
to this.
like
Oh, there
four.
has. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I think Half-Life 2, the supposed plot, everything
Yeah,
was leaked
yeah.
as well. So
I
they
mean,
had to remake
Final
it.
Fantasy 7 had a leak
Right.
as well.
I mean, that was
Yeah.
like also like just mind-blowing, just destroying entirety of Valve. They were like,
Yeah.
hey, let's release Half-Life 2, and this one just releases everything.
Yeah.
So, it's a very big setback for
Mhm.
Naughty Dog, I say. Unless they just go, hey, whatever, we'll just release our game. If people love our game, they're gonna get our game.
So
Yeah.
So this news, the leak happened, right?
Right.
And I think a few days later, Naughty Dog or Sony announced the release date for Last of Us Part 2, which is 19th of June.
Oh.
So do you think that this release happened because of the leak, or was this already planned? And
I would say it's because of the leak, right?
I think they pulled it forward a little bit.
yeah, I'm sure June was the original, like June, July was the original plan.
Like June.
Yeah, but maybe they did pull it like a week or two.
Oh yeah, I'm
Because-
pretty sure because
'cause obviously,
it's already out there. The cat's out of the bag.
yeah,
So might as well sell it as fast as possible for those who haven't
Yeah.
actually, or who's been avoiding it as
Mhm.
best as possible.
yeah,
Yeah.
So that you guys can experience it, and the spoiler is not going to be a spoiler anymore if the game's already out.
yeah,
Yeah, because just for like your casual gamer, they're not really gonna read these news. I mean, I'm sure they might run into it every now and then, but they won't. They might not care as much. They'll just say, "Oh, I'll just buy the game.
Right.
It's okay."
Good thing is I haven't watched the leak.
yeah.
I haven't watched it, but I was a little tempted, but I don't know. I always think like the first impression of the game is very important, especially as a consumer of the game.
Mhm.
So I want to stay away from it. And
Yeah, there's something about experiencing a work of art, be it a
Oh,
movie
yeah.
or a game or a comic or whatever, as how the creator intended you to.
I was actually a big
Experience it.
a big fan of like watch and walkthroughs, kind of like Kevin here.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
But after I played the game called Subnautica, I was so immersed in the game that I was like, if I had watched this walkthrough with someone else, I would have regretted it. Like,
Yeah.
I would not have felt what I had felt.
But
And
once again, those there are
Right.
different types of walkthroughs. There are
Mm.
some with like no commentary, so.
I mean, but
different.
technically, you're not finding out for yourself. Like,
Yeah.
you want to look at
Oh,
that
yeah, yeah.
shell, and
Yeah.
this guy just turns. I'm like,
Right, right.
just look at that shell. So,
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think if Sony wanted to release it today, they would. But obviously, they have to produce the copies and the CDs.
but I
and
do
that
think
takes time.
Naughty Dog could have done something with YouTube to like kind of stop it going like viral.
That's very.
Apparently, the video was taken down almost instantly.
but of
but-
course,
but
it's the
of course,
internet.
People started extracting.
It's
They
like
already
the-
saved
it's
the
like
video.
one single instance of Beyonce with that weird face.
It's like hyenas.
Yeah, apparently the video's up for like 20 minutes or something like that. But then
Oh, that's enough.
people started like, downloading the video.
They're
and-
hyenas. They're
like hawks.
yeah, they're like
circling a corpse.
yeah, exactly. Like I think there's like 1 second. Like
Yeah, it's like, oh,
out
it's
on the
gone.
internet. It's over.
Yeah, the internet is a scary place.
Yeah. So June 19th. I'm hoping I can last until June 19th.
You will, because you're the Last of Us.
I don't know what that means. And I mean, just to add this, we'll just add it here. Ghost of Tsushima also finally got a release date.
Mm.
It got delayed.
It got
Dude.
delayed for about 2 weeks.
It got delayed for a month. So the original release date was June 26th, and now it's July 17th.
Everything
Mm.
good was about to happen in June. Something
Unfortunate.
about June.
Unfortunate.
Unfortunately.
Something about June.
Yeah. So the two final, because Ghost of Tsushima and Last of Us Part 2 are like the final current gen games.
Mm.
And after that, Sony is moving on to the PS5.
Oh yeah. But Ghost of Tsushima, man, I'm looking forward to
Yeah.
it so much.
So segue into the next news item.
Mm-hmm.
Both Xbox Series X and the PS5 are going to finally have a sort of reveal event of not only the console, but of next gen games. And we won't talk about this too long because we're running out of time. But it's when people still saw those tweets, I think the most common sentiment was, "It has begun. The next gen wars have officially begun."
Mm.
Because now this is when both companies try to one up each other.
Yeah, that tradition Nintendo versus Microsoft, like everyone knows about, right?
So yeah, now they're gonna one up each other, show what games they have to offer. Because we don't know how any of the next gen games look, right? We just don't know.
Mm.
Not yet.
Not
at
yet.
least.
And next week we get our first taste of Valhalla in next gen consoles.
So make sure to watch our next week's podcast.
Yeah. I mean, apparently the Xbox event is May 7th, and it's not gonna be first party. Apparently this event is only gonna be third party studios. So Ubisoft, I guess Activision. Some people think the next Battlefield game will be revealed
Mm.
next week as well.
Oh. Okay.
Oh yeah, like
Yeah.
minor news. Battlefield is getting their new update, their last update
Yeah.
supposedly.
Because it is close to Battlefield release season.
Mm.
Because I think Battlefield releases every November, October. So, and this Battlefield game is gonna be for next gen as well. It's gonna be a crushing game. So, are we excited?
Actually, Battlefield 3 wasn't bad, but
Yeah.
we all know that.
I'm talking about like
Hmm.
next gen
Oh, the next
titles
gen,
being
right.
revealed because Sony did plan to reveal their console apparently March, April.
Mhm.
but obviously because of
COVID.
COVID-19.
Corona.
And now that they're going to do an event on June, the first week of June is the rumor. But obviously it's not going to be a real event, right? It's going to be,
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be kind of digital.
yeah, it's going to be the
Yep.
digital event.
It's gonna be like BlizzCon, but
I
with
think
no
it's
one
pretty
there.
obvious just because a lot of the big international events are being canceled. Like it's no way people are gonna meet up at this
Yeah.
time.
Fortnite World Cup gets
especially
canceled.
especially in the United
Yeah,
States.
because
Mm.
it's still pretty bad.
Like public places are being closed down.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen.
So the Fortnite World Cup get canceled.
Mm.
Right.
The Doroto International
Got
is going to get canceled. So, I mean,
But there's a lot of digital platforms they can market to. There's
Yeah.
YouTube. There's also Twitch.
I mean, yeah,
they
they're
can
on,
just
they're,
stream
they're,
all
they're,
of
gonna, they're
that.
gonna stream it.
right.
They're gonna do like a direct, like a Nintendo Direct.
I mean, you follow that all the time. Like
Yeah,
Mm.
I think that's a pretty good thing.
yeah, and I do feel like maybe because of this virus, by next 2 years, all companies will just go digital.
It might save a lot of cash.
Yeah, because it saves them money, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I do have a feeling after this year they're gonna see like, oh, this actually works.
Yeah, and like we don't need E3 anymore, right?
Yeah, but that's gonna be sad.
I mean, it sucks for people like gamers because we lose the
the social
yeah.
aspect. But good thing, folks, is that there's always board game conventions, so we can go to those.
Are sure?
You know how I slipped that in there?
Yeah.
Real smooth.
Are there board game conventions?
There are.
Okay.
Oh god.
By Dice Tower Projects. Or Dice Tower.
Yeah, but
I swear we're not chill.
I mean, we'll react. We'll obviously watch the events,
Of course.
and
Maybe we can even watch it live.
yeah. I mean,
You
if
think so?
we can try to see how it happens.
It's like
You're not giving me a definite answer.
I
I
mean,
see.
The-
Is that because we're on camera?
it's like 4 in the morning. We're like, oh, how do we do this?
Oh man, June.
Okay, that's it for news for today, and we'll come back with game impressions. So let's take a short break.
Thank you so much.
And we're back from our long break. June, what are you doing?
Clash of Clans.
Enough. We're recording. So, pretty good break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We needed that because it's getting hot in here.
I mean, summer is approaching.
Or it might be because I'm in here.
Oh,
Okay, so
okay.
Okay, fine.
before we get into game impressions, last week we had a small game we played.
Oh, are we doing another one?
Yeah, we're doing
Mm.
another game.
All right, bring it on.
So this game is inspired by
Wait,
What?
what was it called? Like the little things.
yeah, that was the last game.
Uh huh.
But this week it's gonna be a different game.
What is it called?
So
Hold your horses.
Is it what is it called?
Are
The,
you
the
trying
bigger things.
so this week's game is inspired by another podcast. They did this game and I thought it was fun to try out.
Are they as big as us? The podcast.
Yeah, they're pretty big.
I think so.
So it's the Easy Eyes podcast for people who aren't familiar.
Oh, that's pretty similar. I mean, we're the competitors.
Yeah, that's true. They're our rivals. So this game is Pokemon or real life animal.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna say a fact, and you have to guess if it's a Pokemon or if it's a real life animal.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So first fact: the yellow stripes on its body absorb sunlight to convert into electrical energy. This makes them
me,
most
me, me,
active
me.
during the day.
Me.
Okay. What?
Pokemon.
How about you, Kevin?
He did not finish his
Yeah.
description.
This makes
Let
them
him finish.
most active during the day when the sun is at its brightest.
Me. Pokemon.
Okay. How about you, Kevin? What's your
Could be an
answer?
animal.
Yeah. So what's your final answer?
Like eel?
No,
Electrical
just
eel?
guess animal or Pokemon.
Animal?
It's animal.
What? Wait, what?
It's the Oriental wasp.
Oh fuck! I was thinking eel.
I thought it was like Pikachu or something.
This is the bamboozle.
Okay, this is not as easy as I thought.
Yeah, that's
Okay, I get the flow of the game. Okay, okay,
so 1 point for Kevin.
okay.
Okay. Second fact. Its cry can be higher than 115 decibels, louder than a supersonic jet engine.
Pokemon.
Okay, how about you, June?
Is it a Pokemon or an animal?
You have to guess.
Look at me in the eye.
What is it?
Pokemon?
I don't know. What's your final answer?
Animal?
What's your final answer?
It's a Pokemon.
Animal.
Oh no! I was gonna do animal. I was gonna do animal.
So you're both wrong. It's pigs.
Wait, what?
Pigs.
Oh, what the?
So pigs, yeah, apparently their cry is higher than 115 decibels.
Interesting.
Okay. How many questions are there?
Like 10.
Okay. That's good.
But when you said jet engine, I was like, jet engines are super loud, and
Yeah.
I was trying to think of an animal that has.
So
Interesting.
pigs are weird creatures, man. Apparently they can get really loud.
Really?
I mean,
Yeah.
I know they're super loud,
pigs
but
as
not
in,
like a jet
pigs or
engine.
pigs as
loud.
in like cops.
Whoa.
Whoa, okay. Breathe.
I have no qualms with the Korean police.
Okay. To avoid crushing the baby, it carries in its pouch. It only sleeps standing up.
That's an animal.
Okay. How about you, June?
Actually, it can
No.
be both.
No,
when you
that's a
think about it. It
Pokemon.
can actually be both.
I know what Pokemon that is.
Because it can be the kangamom, whatever that
Okay.
thing,
So, but what's your final guess?
or kangaroo. Animal.
It's Pokemon. It's a
It's a kangaroo Pokemon,
the
right?
Kangaskhan.
Yeah, no, but
yes.
kangaroo.
But
mothers
kangaroos
do
don't
that
sleep
too.
standing up.
No,
That's
they
the thing.
don't.
They just sleep normally.
Really?
Yeah.
No, because I thought if they have
be
they're
quiet.
pregnant,
No,
right,
no,
they'll
no, no.
just
Yeah. But they just sleep. They just sleep bang down. They don't just stand up.
interesting.
Okay. So 1 point each. Though regarded as peaceful, beautiful creatures, they will happily drink blood for its nutrients if given the opportunity.
Animal.
Animal. That's a bat.
No, both of you are correct. But can you guess what animal?
No, it can be.
Is that extra point?
No, it's like all the
No.
like even pigs, like cows, they're opportunistic like carnivores. Same with horses as well.
Wait, so if given the opportunity, they would drink blood.
Yeah. I mean, you're both correct. It's animal.
Yeah,
There's
there's a lot of animals that do that. So.
It's a butterfly.
A butterfly?
Yeah, a butterfly.
Really?
Yeah.
They would drink blood?
Yeah, if given the opportunity for nutrients.
But do they prefer it?
I don't think so. But, you know,
Okay.
beggars can't be choosers, right?
Okay.
Okay.
So 2-2.
Yeah. It can topple an Indian elephant by enveloping the prey in 2 seconds.
What did you just say?
It can topple an Indian elephant by enveloping the prey in 2 seconds.
Indian elephant.
It's an animal.
Okay.
2 seconds.
Come on. Pick up the pace.
You have to do a countdown.
Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Animal.
It's a Pokemon. It's Ghastly. The ghost Pokemon.
Oh.
Oh, I thought it was like a giant
Yeah.
cobra or something.
But it's kind of weird because apparently,
But you said Indian elephant.
yeah, that's the thing. So
Yeah.
in the early Pokemon games, they actually
Oh, they
mention-
actually have actual animals in there
no,
as well,
yeah,
right?
in the early Pokemon games for some
Mm.
reason. I mean, in the current Pokemon lore, there are no
There are no
animals.
real
Yeah.
animals.
When the first like Pokemon Gold, Silver, or like Red, Blue, they would actually mention real life countries and animals for some reason.
No, even the
Okay.
comic iterations, they'll separate like an animal evolution and Pokemon evolution as well. You
But-
can actually read on that as well.
I mean,
Right.
but in the current Pokemon lore, there are no
Mm.
real animals. They don't exist in Pokemon. Okay. Second to last question. It can sense the electric fields of all living things, allowing it to hunt through electrolocation without using its eyes, ears, or nose.
Pokemon.
No, that's an animal.
It's an animal.
Oh my god!
Can you guess which animal?
Wait, can you say that again?
It can sense the electric fields of all living things, allowing it to hunt through electrolocation without using its eyes, ears, or nose.
Bat.
A platypus.
A
It's not a-
platypus?
Yeah.
It's not a bat because they use their ears
They
and
use
shit.
supersonic.
I mean, that's.
It's a platypus.
Yeah.
Apparently, like their bills or something. I don't know. It's weird.
I mean, I was close.
Yeah.
Bats and platypus
Yeah.
are long distance relation.
So-
relation.
June's actually leading.
By 1 point.
Yeah, there's
Last question.
With this one, and I win.
Their fingerprints are so similar to humans that they have confused crime scene investigators.
animal.
Pokemon. That's Pokemon.
It's an animal.
Oh no!
Can you guess which animal?
Gorilla.
No.
Oh, no, actually, the ape family. Most of the ape family have
Monkey?
like
No, no, it's not.
Give us a hint.
It's a marsupial.
What's a marsupial thing? Kind of.
It's a koala.
Really?
Yeah. So I saw this fact. I was like, "Is this true?" So I actually Google searched it, and in Australia there was a crime scene that people confused for humans, but they found out it was actually a koala.
A koala killed someone?
No, no, but they confused because they thought it was a human fingerprint.
Oh, okay.
So they were like, okay, look for whoever this is. And they're like, oh, it's actually a koalas. So apparently koalas have similar fingerprints to humans.
Hmm.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
So you actually tied.
Okay, what's a tiebreaker?
I mean, I do have more questions, but I was saving for another week. But
Okay,
Okay.
one more.
Okay,
one
one more.
tiebreaker.
yeah, one tiebreaker. They are sensitive to danger from an early age. If they sense a hazardous situation while in the egg, they will hatch early to escape.
That's an animal.
I mean, whether you're right or correct, you're still going to be tied.
But we should get extra points if we get what animal it is.
Okay, it's an animal. But what animal is it?
I think it's a turtle.
How about you, Kevin?
Can be, like a lot of birds, right? They have that as well. No, actually, frogs like toads, toad or frog eggs. They have this thing where
Kevin is correct.
Yeah.
It's a
What?
it's a frog.
What?
It's a red-eyed tree frog.
No! It's not a
tadpoles is
turtle.
released very early.
I mean, turtles do have eggs.
Yeah, I mean, true. But apparently, I guess frogs, when they sense danger, they're just like, oh,
Oh,
get out.
God damn!
Yeah, they're just
Gotta
like,
get out. All right.
Yeah, so that's the game. That's pretty interesting, right?
GG.
It's not as easy as you think it was. I'm sure you
GG.
thought it was easy when you first started.
Yeah,
right?
I was like, please.
No, the Indian elephant one
stripes
was
with like
yeah.
electricity. I was like, Pikachu, whatever.
It's actually an oriental wasp.
Mm.
Oh my god, I didn't even think it was like an insect.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
an-
technically, it's not an animal then. So you actually misled me.
No, actually, that animal kingdom.
yeah, I mean,
insects are
part
part
of,
of it,
yeah,
so.
part of the kingdom. Okay, so let's get into game impressions.
All right.
So, who wants to start off? Since Kevin started off last time, how about you, June? Why don't you start off?
Who?
You.
You.
June.
Me.
You.
Yes.
Okay. For the past week, I've been playing a game called XCOM 2. And XCOM 2 is a real-time strategy game where it's set in this, like 20 years past, where a alien race has taken over Earth, and they have set
Oh, 20 years passed into
Yeah,
the
into the
future.
future.
Okay.
into the future where, like, an alien race has taken over Earth.
Yeah.
But they, on the outside, they're kind of posing as this force that is helping Earth, like pulling them up to
Mhm.
speed. But on the inside, they're actually searching for a way to cure themselves.
Oh, interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna spoil anything. It's just they're finding a cure for their own race.
So just giving a synopsis of
like a
the plot.
synopsis. And
Have you played the first XCOM?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I haven't played the first, but I'm a big fan of like a turn-based combat.
How about you, Kevin? Have you played the first XCOM?
Yeah, you know how you have like a 95% chance to hit someone in the face? Your character is literally right in front of the alien,
And then they
it
miss.
says miss. You're like, what? Are you blind?
You did like
Well, the one thing I like about this game is there's not only a combat system where it's something similar to Mutant. What is that game? That's also combat.
The one with the duck and that.
Yeah, the duck
and
and
the pig guy. That
Did you play that game?
Yeah. Mutant Road or something.
Okay, yeah.
Where you have you set up your characters and then you're not spotted yet. You're kind of like hidden.
Yeah.
And then when you're ready to spring your trap or ambush, that's when you kind of attack someone. And you have this thing where you have like Overwatch. And Overwatch basically means when they move, you get to strike first. So I like the aspect of where you can plan everything out and then you spring the trap.
Yeah. Because I played the first XCOM
Mm.
for I would say 10 hours, 15 hours.
Okay.
And I feel like that game was all about defending Earth from alien invasion.
Oh yeah, now you're
So I guess-
part of the resistance.
I guess I'm assuming they lost.
They
yes,
lost.
in
So in
XCOM
this
1.
XCOM 2, I haven't played the XCOM 1, but I'm
Hmm.
guessing, as you said,
Yeah.
they're defending.
Yeah.
This one is where it's after that war and they've already
So
lost.
like a resistance force.
And you're starting off the resistance force. The resistance force isn't formed yet. It's scattered all over the world.
Mhm.
So you're just trying to halt their technological movement while trying to spread resistance across Earth.
Okay.
And the series, the thing is like split into two things, which is like the combat phase and also like you're taking care of your base building kind of phase
Yeah.
of your spaceship called Avengers.
Oh, Avengers.
Yeah.
Avengers.
So you build all your science labs and your workshops, and you create new like specs and new gadgets and guns for your troops. And of course, sometimes your troops are gonna die. I play in Iron Man mode.
That's the most difficult.
Whoa, that you
Iron
know,
Man
you
basically
can't- yeah.
means you can't save scum.
Okay, so once you die, it's
Once your character dies, you
it's-
die.
Yeah.
And it's a little hard sometimes because sometimes, as Kevin said, 95% chance to hit. I'm guessing they'll hit,
Yeah.
and you need that guy to hit. Like with the
Because
shotgun,
they'll die.
yeah, because they'll die if they don't, or someone else will die,
Yeah.
and they don't, and they miss, and you're like, damn it, he just ruined all my plans. But I guess that's part of playing a turn-based
Yeah.
turn-based strategy game where you need to opt for strategies where it's as least fail, and also you have to use a lot of cover, which I really like. The realistic thing about this is that there's like 4 classes. There's like 1 which is like a specialist. There's 2 which is grenadier. 3 is like a ranger, and 4 is like a sniper,
Mhm.
like a sharpshooter. Grenadiers, of course, they bring like big guns, like like Gatling
Are they like the
gun.
tanks?
Kind of like the tanks. You can
Yeah.
build them into tanks.
Mhm.
And there's perks which you can specialize your specific classes to do specific roles. For example, the grenadiers, you can specialize them for like throwing grenades or lobbing grenades, or you can specialize them to like break their opponent's cover.
Yeah, I do remember. Like when you don't trust the system, the probability system.
Oh yeah,
That's when you go, okay, let's just like explosives.
yeah.
This is the only guaranteed way.
Explosives. The good thing about explosives, there's no probability. You will hit them. So grenadiers are really good at that. Is that you will guarantee damage
Mhm.
and big damage across multiple units. Sharpshooters have one of the highest aim, and if you're like, I don't know, there is verticality in the game. So if you're like above 2 floors or 3 floors, they have higher aim. So that's good.
Is there a thing where I think the last XCOM 1 had this countdown thing? Now countdown. They force you to go on these. Like,
Yes,
yeah,
because
limited missions.
Yeah.
Right?
one of my biggest pet peeves in games is when they force me to make risky moves or reckless moves. And in these type of turn-based games, I like, especially in Iron Man mode, because you can't save scum, I like to play a little more passively and just move slowly. But in order, I heard a lot of people in XCOM 1 did that, and a lot of people, I don't know, try to get through that just by doing that. So the people who actually made XCOM 2 made like a pushing mechanism where you have to approach this goal and finish it within like 9 turns. So that means you have to make reckless plays and you have to hope for the best, which I know their intention, but I don't know. There are mods to kind of fix it if you don't like it, to like double it. I just played with it was because sometimes I don't mind losing troops. Overall, I think it's a really good game. I haven't played XCOM 1, but XCOM 2 was really solid. The DLC for it makes it even better is because they add a lot more like factors into the map map arena, and they also add these chosen warriors where they're like champions for the other team. Because after a while, when you get all your equipment and all that, the fighting does get a little bit easy. When you get like really good gear, really good guns, you're probably gonna be able to one-shot, two-shot enemies, and the probability is usually in your favor. And you have like 16 health, which means even if they shoot you, it's not gonna matter too much. So overall, I think it's a really good game. It's free right now.
Right? Is it free right now?
I think it's still free. It's free until May 4th, if I have it correctly.
Okay.
Where is it free on?
Steam. It's free on Steam. So that's the only reason I picked up. I was gonna buy it, but it was free, so might as well.
Yeah. I mean, how is there like a narrative structure to this game, or is it just
There is a narrative structure. There are quests and objectives that will guide you on which path you should go. But the whole game itself, like I said, there is that time limit, not only in the quest itself, but there's a time limit where the aliens are trying to find a cure for themselves, right? And then they will progress through as time goes by. So they will progress. And if you don't make like progression yourself by destroying their facilities or something like that, they will beat you to it. And then I haven't lost in that regard because if you just destroy their facility, they won't make it that far. But I'm guessing that if you're not good with your time management, if you're not doing like researching while doing combat at the same time, you're probably going to lose because you're going to either get outpaced within like guns or you're going to get outpaced in numbers.
Yeah, because I don't XCOM 1 as well. Like they had like a base building aspect
They did.
where you research new like research labs and you can upgrade your weapons and all that stuff.
I heard in XCOM 2, I don't know if this was a thing in XCOM 1, but XCOM 2 has this base building aspect where some of the structures within your base, it's kind of like Civilization, where districts adjacent to each other get like bonuses.
Oh, yeah.
I think they did. Right?
Did it?
I think I'm not sure. I'm
Think
not
they
sure.
did,
I'm
maybe.
not
But
sure.
XCOM 2 actually has that mechanic. So whenever, like after my first playthrough, I played another playthrough.
So did
and-
you finish the game?
I finished it until the last, like, last boss fight.
And did you lose?
No, I didn't lose. It was just getting a little boring because my troops are too strong.
But did you beat the boss?
No, I just started a game again because I was like, I want to try because my first playthrough was not Iron Man and it was it was like on easy mode.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, I want to try a new game through like legendary mode with Iron Man, and it was hard. It was really hard. One mistake and you're gonna lose, and you're gonna lose a lot of people. But I am enjoying it a lot better on harder difficulties because they make the progression track much faster for the aliens, which means you really have little margin of
Yeah,
error.
the stakes are higher.
The stakes are higher. And one of the things that I really like about XCOM is that on the first game playthrough, I actually didn't do a lot of customization, but XCOM 2 gives you a lot of ways to customize. So, for example, my medic, you can change like the color of their armor and all that. So my medic would be all white because medics usually
Yeah.
have all white uniforms.
It's like a StarCraft medic. You know?
Right, StarCraft medic. So on the battle map, when I see my white guy, I'm like, oh, that's my medic. And then you can have like tattoos. You
Mhm.
can have like, you can add like cosmetic like options and skins to your gun.
Yeah, because I've heard like people even get close to certain like
oh yeah, you
um,
do. I
soldiers
even
of the-
named 3 of my soldiers. You, me, and Kevin. Kevin was the specialist, IT specialist dude in my.
yeah.
And you were kind of like the tank, and I was the sharpshooter.
Did Kevin die?
I mean,
I'm the tech guy. I should live.
I mean,
I'm the
I'm sorry,
intelligence
but
guy.
you actually died.
Of course.
But I mean, but you took a lot of shots to the face. You took a lot of shots to the face.
At least I died with honor.
Yeah, you did.
No, you did what you liked.
I mean, but you do like to get hit a lot. So, but it was really fun. It's free, so might as well go check it out.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, I have XCOM 2 on my PC and my PS4.
Oh, you haven't played it yet?
Yeah, I haven't played it yet. I just got it for free.
I mean, you have this hoarder mentality where you just hoard everything.
Yeah, I love hoarding stuff. But I do need to play it though. I do want to play the game.
It's really good.
Okay.
Turn-based strategy games, you can never go wrong with it.
Mm.
And there's like addictive qualities to them.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
there's something about turn-based games where it's like one more game,
Yeah.
one more turn.
Hmm.
It's kind of like Civilization.
Yeah.
It gets you hooked on.
Okay. How about you, Kevin? What have you been playing?
I played a few hours of a game called Stronghold Crusader.
Oh, wow.
That's an old
So-
school game.
Old
It's
school
a
game,
very
yeah.
old school game. So the one I'm playing right now is like it's like a standalone expansion to Stronghold. So instead of like the more like it's being set in Europe, it's set in the Arabian land. So during the
You
Crusades.
mean the Middle East?
Right. So what this is it's like a real-time strategy game where you manage a castle.
Yeah. I played when I was like elementary, I think.
Right. And what you have to do is that you're like the lord of a kingdom.
Mhm.
And what you have to do, the goal of the entire game is to create like a stable economy and like a strong military to like defend against like your opponents. So it's basically like a real-time strategy game mixed with like maybe a sandbox elements of you get to see your castle with your peasants moving around and creating troops and just defending or attacking. And you get to also design your own castle. So you get to make like these wacky designs.
I think one of the things that sort of stick out to me from my memory of playing Strong Crusader is like,
Oh, you played it.
yeah, I played
Okay.
with my friends when I was in elementary. We used to play like LAN parties.
You have friends.
Yeah, I used to have friends apparently.
He meant the mirror.
And I think one of my friends, he would always launch like poisonous cows.
Oh yeah.
Like you can launch rotten cows at the end
Would
enemy.
that like spread disease?
Yeah, I think it's like
Yeah,
poison or something.
yeah, it's like a
It's
poison.
like a poison
Yeah.
gas or whatever. That's what I remember the most for playing that game.
It's
Poisonous cow.
it's a great game basically. So when I just say like stable economy and like a strong military, right? So you
Mhm.
just start off with just these basic resources and you gather resources. There's like a lot of different resources like wood. There's like iron. There's like I think cobblestone.
Yeah,
some
and
of the
also
stone.
food, right?
Yeah, there's food as
Yeah.
well. So you'll see these pastures of like green land. So this is where you can set up your economy. So you can either have like a wheat farm. You can have like a just cheese farm.
Yeah,
Cheese farm.
yeah. You can like choose
you
like
cannot
types
of
types
harvest
food.
the cows. It's
Yeah.
just for cheese. And there's like the opium farm.
Oh man.
It's for like
Oh, June is very familiar with
yeah.
opium.
Yeah.
So
My
basically,
country.
yeah. So all of these different farms have different resources you can use. Like so, the cheese is like you just process instantly and goes to your granary. So it just goes instantly in your economy. But there's also other stuff like the flour and you'll need like different buildings. So if you harvest the wheat, you're gonna have to process it with like a flour mill, right?
Oh,
And then you
like
have to have
mill,
like
okay.
a baker's shop to make the bread.
Oh, okay. Do you
So-
add like sawdust to it to make it more
I mean,
Plentiful?
it's implied, There's like it's
Of
just
course.
part of.
Yeah.
There's no
you
health
just-
risk
yeah,
to
you expect
sawdust.
it. You expect it.
I mean, you won't die from it. You're
Right.
gonna die.
and we
And-
can see it through history.
Yeah, you won't die from eating sawdust.
And the peasants need it.
Right, right. And right.
How about in terms of like battle fighting? Like how does
But
it?
remember, I kind of made a mistake there. I said I played Stronghold Crusader.
Mhm.
I played Stronghold Crusader Extreme. So
Okay.
What's
What
the
is-
difference?
What's the difference?
so this is Stronghold Crusader on cocaine. So the
Huh.
enemy is more like they just spam out units at you, and it's like you have to be really on edge in defending
So it's kinda
against
like
the enemy.
Tower defense in a way.
It's more like
It's
just
kinda
hardcore.
just wave after wave of enemies just come
Yeah,
smashing.
because
at
they,
the
they
gate.
just have like this overwhelming advantage over you, and you have to somehow like bottleneck the enemy or just outplay the enemy. Because the AI in like Strong Crusade, they're not that smart, but if they do have their numbers on you, they will destroy you. And the thing about the Strong Crusader Extreme Edition is they expanded the number of units you can have on the game, so it's like in the thousands. So you can literally, I think when I finished the game, I killed about 55k enemies. Which is an insane amount. I did not even know I'd
The
killed that
feeling I'm getting
many.
about this game is it kind of like Total War,
It's
where it has like a combat map and like a.
No, I don't.
No,
think-
no,
it
it's
doesn't.
not,
It,
no.
it, it doesn't.
No,
have,
it's-
from my memory.
Yeah, it's
it didn't
not, it's
have-
not.
So
yeah.
that's like just one.
It's kind of just like StarCraft.
Yeah, you just
Warcraft.
manage your.
Yeah, it's like a map.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
like a StarCraft.
Yeah, it's like that kind of RTS.
but there's also
I'm
like
guessing
yeah.
the map is bigger.
No, it's not. Not
Yeah,
really.
no, I don't think so.
It's a lot smaller.
Yeah.
Huh.
Is it usually like 1-on-1? I guess most of the time, or is it like,
There's a one. It can
Yeah.
do one on
but
one.
like it's like you gather resources. and
Yeah,
stuff.
so it's any
You see, like,
RTS game,
workers,
right?
like they go to your and they put the stuff in and stuff like that.
It's Age of Empires.
Kinda
no, it's kind of
Yeah,
like
kinda
Asian,
like
but
that,
not
yeah.
kind of like
Okay.
Asian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm getting the.
There's
I'm
like
getting
more
the
like
feel.
a
Okay.
meticulous like a details
Yeah.
to the castle building aspect,
Mhm.
Okay.
right?
But just think of it like Age of Empires, I guess. It's like a close as a reference point.
As a medieval.
yeah,
medieval empire.
medieval
Right,
like
right.
RTS game.
Okay.
One thing about this game is the narrator. Like the voiceover for the entire game is just great. It's like
Oh,
the
what's with it?
peasants. My lord, like
My
you click on a peasant woman and it's like a sound of a man. It's like, oh wow, this is very memorable.
Oh, you mean not the voiceover? Because voiceover.
Oh
is
no,
like,
there's the
like a
voiceover and
narrator.
also the there's also like the voices for the
Oh.
the-
Each individual
Yeah,
unit.
each individual.
yeah, even
units.
the voiceover is like the voiceover is like sometimes epic as well, sometimes really funny.
like how do the voiceovers work in the RTS game?
So in Stronghold Crusade, let's say if you enclose your castle,
Okay.
your keep is enclosed. Like it's a very
Oh.
deep voice.
Oh,
man.
oh, you mean that type?
Yeah, and
like,
then also if your taxes are like too high or too low, it's like, oh, the people are very keen on you, sire. So there's like
Very
different
keen.
narrative. There's different narrative. There's like voiceovers, and even like the characters have different characteristics. Each of the lords have different characteristics. Like there's Saladin, there's like the Lord Frederick. Like all of them have different ways of attacking your castle. Because
Okay.
there are different units in this
Mhm.
game, and these lords prefer these AIs prefer different kinds of attack strategies
Okay.
and prefer different units. So Saladin would most likely use Arabian units.
Also, those are enemies.
Right,
They're
right.
not like you don't select the lord.
Yeah. Oh, you can select the AI lord you want to go against. Or
No,
do
but
you
like what I meant was like, for example.
Oh, no,
know,
you
StarCraft, you have,
yourself-
like Zerg,
yeah.
Protoss, or
wanna,
Terran,
no.
like Strong Crusader. What?
No. Everyone has the same units.
Okay,
Oh.
Except the AI
Mhm.
lords have like this
just preferences
yeah,
for
this
what units they want to
personality
use.
that-
yeah.
they want to use.
Okay.
Yeah.
So everyone's kind of
right.
start on the same kind of starting line.
And each of the lords have different castle designs. And also there's one thing as well. There's this thing called fear factor. So you can either be chosen to be loved by your people or be feared.
I'm guessing you did feared.
No, I say love because basically your your production goes up, your taxes get paid more often, like just higher.
Feared doesn't do that. I'm guessing.
No, fear does, but instead, basically, it's like I think there's like pros and cons to having like the fear factor on either side, and same for the lords. So you can see the lords for like Saladin, he's more like happy guy, so you just see like fields of flowers and dancing bears and stuff.
Oh. Okay.
Or you see Lord Frederick, you see
I do remember the dancing bears.
Yeah.
that thing I remember as well. From
Lord
Stronghold
Frederick, you
Crusader.
see like these guillotines, like hanging men and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's pretty nice. Aesthetically, you can it's just pleasing. Just
But yeah,
to
the,
see.
like the dancing bears,
Yeah.
they make your morale like higher, I
right,
guess, or
right.
something. Yeah.
Oh.
I do remember that the dancing. My friend used to put a lot of dancing bears in his face.
Oh, really? Okay.
And also, if you have like high happiness factor, you get to see like, drunk people come out.
Oh
from
yeah,
the inn.
yeah, you do. I
You're
remember
like-
that too.
It's like the local drunk. You're like, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah, he's like
Get
they're
back
like
to
walking
work.
around like, going like that.
So it's just like you can just.
Oh, man, that sounds
yeah,
pretty
it's
fun.
very
yeah, it's like,
pleasing to the eye.
make a community as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait.
And-
So if enemies send like troops and they actually break through your gates,
Right.
does your citizens like start running? And
Yeah,
screaming?
they do start running away, and they're like, oh.
And
The
you have to,
village
like-
women, they're like,
You have to manually send your troops to fight them, right?
right, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those are the only ones that you can manually control, like the military
Oh,
troops.
man.
yeah. The civilians are just like
Yeah,
they're just
they
like in
do their
background.
work.
Yeah, they just do whatever they want.
Yeah. And I say it's a pretty good game,
Okay,
especially in the Extreme Edition,
I've heard of
There's
Stronghold
this
Crusader.
where
It's just I haven't played it.
oh yeah, but you know in the Extreme Edition, as a player, you have a sidebar where you have these these active skills. One is you can spawn knights out of nowhere, or you can rain comets out of nowhere. So it's like more entertainment value for you as a player. So you're like you have these mini active skills you can use every
Mhm.
now and then, which is very fun, I say. And that's what I've been playing. Strong
Oh, yeah.
Crusader Extreme Edition.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so
What about you? What games have you been playing?
I'm gonna talk about two games.
No, that's being greedy.
Yeah,
Well,
we're
I
only
want to
one
talk about two
game.
games.
Just because you're the moderator.
I mean, you can talk about two games too.
Fine, I'm gonna talk about another game then.
So, oh well, I'll just talk about Animal Crossing a bit because I've
Mm.
actually reached the quote unquote credits of the game.
Really?
So there are credits to this game. I mean,
There's an end game?
yeah, there is a sort of end game to this game. So what the end game is, you want to make your island as beautiful as enough to attract a character called KK Slider. So for those unfamiliar with who KK Slider is, he's I guess like a singer, a very popular like singer in the Animal Crossing world. So for example, when you buy records to play in your home with your stereo system or whatever, all those records are basically like KK Slider songs.
Okay.
So your Tom Nook, the raccoon or Tanuki, he's like, oh, let's make our island as beautiful as possible. Get him. So I did manage to get Cake Slider to my island, and then he has a concert. So he plays he does a concert in your island, and as he's playing the song, the credits start rolling. And I was surprised, like, whoa, there are credits to this game? I didn't even know that. So, and then the credits happen, but this is where the game starts becoming interesting, because once you reach those credits, and I guess technically it's like the end of the game. After the credits, Tom Nook calls you and says that you can now terraform
Terraform as in like
the land.
Yep.
So you can like create rivers. You could change the shape of your island, the look of your island. So before you're always limited by, it's randomized what island you get. So some islands could have like 2 mountains. Some could have like 1 big mountain.
in the mountains good, I guess.
I mean, it's preference.
Okay.
It's
Mm.
I mean, the mountains are good because some fishes can only be caught in
Mountainous region.
mountainous regions.
Okay.
So, but every region does come with a mountain, and like sometimes some people maybe they want to create an island in the middle. So once you reach terraforming, that's when the sky's the limit in terms of what you can do with your island now, because you're not limited by the river over there. Because if you don't like the river, it's like just get rid of it and create a new river. And so that's when you start getting terraforming. And I haven't really got into terraforming that much, but based on like what you see on the internet, man, there are people like, for example, Link to the Past, Zelda Link to the Past, considered one of the greatest games of all time. Some guy made his island into an exact replica of the Link to the Past map,
Mm.
and I was
Does
like,
it looks really it's the same?
I mean, not just for art style, because Link to the Past is like a 2D game, but in terms of like, the mountains and the whatnot, it looks pretty close.
So it's kind of like it turns into like Minecraft.
Yeah,
all
it's
of
like
a
it's like
sudden.
yeah,
Mm.
they add like Minecraft element to it, because like you can like literally shape your island as you want it to be. So the first thing I did when I got terraforming was I just created like, because one of my goals is to I'm thinking of putting my house on the mountain. So I want to make it like scenic, have a waterfall near my home.
What if you already have a house? Do you have to break it down in order to make a mountain, or can you just raise a mountain underneath it?
Oh, you have to pay to move your house,
Oh.
to transfer it. So you pay like 50,000 or 30,000 bells, 50,000, which isn't too much.
How much is that in peso?
I don't know the conversion rate for a bell to a peso.
But it's funny how even at the end game you're still paying. You're literally a god that terraforms like this island by yourself, and you still
And you're
have to
still
pay.
limited by coin.
Yeah, I mean, the terraforming technically is like a license that Tom Nook gives you. It's like
Mm.
you're now licensed to, start
Change.
changing the land to whatever. Like you have to buy like waterscaping permit, because at the beginning you can't create rivers or lakes. You have to buy the permit to create. Like,
If you create a
rivers.
river, you can fish there now, right?
Yeah. So
Okay,
like,
I'm actually curious. What does Isabel do in like the
okay.
entire-
So in Animal Crossing, there's a residential center. There's like
Right.
the town center, where Tom Nook and Isabel, that's where they are.
Mm.
So Tom Nook deals with like infrastructure. For example, if you want to build a bridge, or you want to build an incline, because like to go up mountains, you either need a ladder or you need to create an incline.
Mm.
So, you go to Tom Nook, like I want to build a bridge in this river, or I want to build an incline. Then you give him the money, you place where you want to place it, and then you pay the money to him. For Isabel, she's like sort of like the HR.
Mm.
So she's like HR of the island. So for example, if there's certain like weird things that happen in Animal Crossing. For example, if you create a design of a shirt, like let's say you create some shirt that says gay on it or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying.
Right.
And
I mean, gay's happy.
yeah, and then like whatever villagers can actually start wearing those shirts. And if you don't want that, you can like complain to Isabel and say, I don't like him wearing that shirt. And Isabel will be like, okay, I'll let the person know.
And he won't wear it.
Then he won't wear that shirt.
Wow, it was like
What?
wow. She's pulling some strings.
Is there any romance options?
No,
in Animal
Animal
Crossing?
Crossing is
Romance free.
yeah, it's romance.
I
it's-
feel like there will be mixed
It's-
reception.
yeah.
It's kid friendly.
yeah, and Isabel can also like, for example, the flag of your island. If you want to change the flag of the island, you talk to Isabel. If you want to create the tune of it, you can actually create the theme music of your island.
Have you
They-
ever
you
found
talk to
any
Isabel.
like Easter eggs in Animal Crossing? Is there any Easter eggs?
I mean, there are literal Easter eggs, like during the Easter
Easter's- yeah.
weekend.
Other than that, like like the
Yeah,
hidden Easter eggs.
I know what you mean. I mean, I don't know, cause like this is my first Animal Crossing game, so even if there are Easter eggs,
You're not really sure.
I wouldn't really catch a reference, because I
Mm.
haven't played previous
Okay.
Animal Crossing games.
Because
But
I'm guessing a game this big, there's got to be an Easter
yeah, I
egg.
mean, yeah, there probably is. I think there are like references to previous characters in previous Animal Crossing games.
Right.
But it's like, just flew over my head, because
Hmm.
I'm like a newbie when it comes to Animal Crossing.
Yeah, you're a newbie.
Yeah, but I played about almost 100 hours.
Wow.
I mean, that's worth the money you pay.
Yeah, and
$6-7.
the thing about Animal Crossing is, it's one of those games where when you wake up, you feel excited.
To
Like,
go to your island.
You go to your island and see what's new, because every day there's always something new that's happening. for example, they added this huge update to the game, where did I talk about the museum in my previous Animal Crossing
You did.
talks? Yeah.
You mentioned how you can put like things in your museum and
Yeah,
it's
like-
like huge.
Yeah, you can talk. You can put like fossils. So there are 3 wings or sections to the museum. There's the bug area, the fish area, and the fossil area. So those are whatever. Like any bug you catch or any fish that you catch, you can give it to the museum, and they're like, okay, and they'll display it on their museum, or any fossils that you find. But the new update added a new wing or section, the art section.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
So how this works is obviously you can't find art randomly in your
I
island,
guess
right?
you have like an artist.
Yeah, I think that's not how art works, right? Because like fossils you can find on the ground, bugs,
You dig
fishes.
up like, oh my god,
the Mona Lisa.
I found it.
I got a Picasso.
Like you fish it, like, oh my god, what? So that's not how art works. So
Oh, yo, let's turn that down.
okay,
He's being a naughty
very
dog.
naughty today.
I was gonna show the camera Clash of Clans.
Very naughty today.
A very naughty
Yeah,
dog.
so how art works is there's a new character got added to the game called Red. He's like a fox. I mean, he's not new for Animal Crossing.
I'm guessing it's an update.
Yeah, it's an
Okay.
update. It's not new for Animal Crossing. He's always been a character in Animal Crossing, but he's new
Mm.
for this game. And he's a very fishy character. Like you're not
with that trench coat.
yeah, I mean he's just like a fox,
Oh,
and he has like this rundown boat that comes once a week. I'm assuming once or twice a week. I'm not exactly sure.
So he doesn't live on your island.
Yeah, he just
Okay.
visits every now and then, and then he'd be like, he always calls you cousin, like, hey cousin, I want to.
Hey, cuz.
Yeah, and then you go to his boat, and it's all like dark, and he has like artworks on display, and he's like, oh, this artwork's amazing. It's for 50,000 bells, but since you're my cousin, 4,000. He
And
says
then-
stuff
and
like
then
that.
your
Also, he
You're-
sells it to you.
Yeah, he says it.
your character's like a human. You're like, how are we related?
Yeah. So he sells you art, but here's the thing: there's a fake real art system to this game. So
Oh, so like if you buy like fake art,
yeah, then if you give it to the museum, the Blathers, who is the museum manager, he's an owl,
Creator, yeah.
or the curator. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's what you call it, curators. He'll be like, oh, this is fake. I can't accept it.
but how do you distinguish fake and
That's
real?
the thing. There's actual clues in the artwork that shows that it's fake or real.
So you have to like stare at it and like, find a clue.
Yeah, or you can just like look up online.
Wait, what is one clue that you found in one of the art?
For example, the Da Vinci art with the guy with his arms, like what do you call that art?
Oh, the star.
The human being who's
Human
like
with, like-
doing a T pose with
Yeah.
like multiple arms or something.
Would they know what? it is?
Yeah, I'm
Because
not
I was
sure.
thinking you were talking about Jesus Christ. I was like, what?
But the Vinci Code with like the star formation with the guy.
Yeah,
like,
right.
like-
Yeah, he's doing like this, right?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm talking
Yeah,
about,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. So that art, the fake one has a coffee stain at the top corner.
Oh,
a coffee stain.
Yeah, a coffee stain. It's like a brown stain on it.
Oh.
Or like one art is like this traditional Japanese art of like like oni, and apparently he's white, but the fake one he'll be green.
But you wouldn't know that.
Unless you're familiar with Japanese
Yeah.
traditional, because they're all based on real art.
What are you able to like if you buy fake and you can't hand it to your museum? Are you able to like sell it to other players?
No.
Oh, damn it!
And like for example, the Mona Lisa, her eyebrows are like happy eyebrows. Like they have those type of
Okay,
stuff. So he'd be
that's
like,
pretty creative.
yeah. So he'd be like, this is usually for 50,000, but I'll sell it to you for 5,000.
can you ban the fox
And
from
then
your
you
island?
could be like, okay, or can I take a closer look?
And you take a clue.
And then if you take a closer look, then the camera will zoom in on the art, and you can like inspect.
If you find it's fake, can you tell your like cuz to like?
No, you just say no, I won't buy it. Then he'd be like, oh, a shame. It's pretty good price.
Wait, can you ban the fox from your island?
Go to the HR. Man, the fox is selling me fake stuff.
So he always sells you 3 to 4 art per visit. So
Okay.
but you only buy one.
Oh, you can only buy one.
Yeah, you can only buy one.
Is it possible that all 4 of them are fake?
It could. I don't know.
Oh.
Maybe it could be possible. I think maybe there's like an RNG involved with how, whether this is fake or not. But yeah,
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
so it's really cool. And then
Did you fill your museum up?
oh no, it takes a while because he visits like once or twice a week.
Oh.
And you can only
real
buy-
time.
Yeah, real time.
Oh man, this is where the time travelers.
They can just like change the date and just make him come all the time.
Every single minute.
Yeah.
Oh, another week.
Yeah. So yeah, but I'm a traditionalist.
Okay.
I like to play at like normal pace, and I think it adds excitement. Like when
And you look forward to it.
yeah, like when you wake up, the first thing I do is like I sleep with my Switch beside me. Like I charge it and then I take it off and I put it beside my pillow. So
So it's like your second pillow.
yeah, so like I wake up, I turn on my Switch and see if, because every few days there's always new visitors that come to your island. Like for one, there's a character called Savannah. She sells you rugs and wallpapers and floorings. Or some characters like Flick. The thing about Flick is like if you sell bugs to him, he'll buy it for 50% more. So there are some people who, when they catch bugs, they don't sell it right away. They just keep it and hoard it. And then when Flick comes,
You just sell it all,
you sell it all to him.
and like you get all these.
You
bells
get
and-
way more money. So there's stuff like that. So it's always exciting to see like, oh, who's gonna visit my island today?
What if no one visits?
That's sad.
No.
So yeah, I mean, it's good though. Like, I feel like this gaming game. Well, I'll just play every day a bit for like the next year or so.
Okay.
Mm.
So, and the second game I'll talk about, I haven't played too long, but I'll talk about it more next week. I played the first maybe 3 hours of 35 hours, the OG Final Fantasy VII,
Mm.
I'm guessing you're playing is because the
Yeah.
remake.
the remake.
Okay.
So I wanna, because
Experience it.
I have never finished the original Final Fantasy VII. So I do. It's one of my biggest regrets is never finishing it.
I mean, I've never finished it.
You didn't even start. I don't.
That's a very good point.
So I played Final Fantasy VII when I was in middle school, I think, and I played like almost, I would say 60% of the game, and I just stopped playing. I don't even know why I stopped playing it, but I guess something happened. So I was like, I mean, Final Fantasy VII is always considered like one of the greatest games of all time. So I was like, I probably should finish it. So I have it on my Switch, and it's like what $10 on your. So I was like, why not? And I played the first 5 hours, which is crazy because the remake is 40 hours long, right? But it's based on the first 8 hours of Final Fantasy VII.
Okay.
So I'm almost reaching the point where I'm past where the remake stopped. So by then maybe that's the point where I can just buy the remake.
Yeah.
The
Mm.
remake anyway, because it's not like the remake's gonna go past that point. But the graphics are pretty bad.
I mean, it's to be expected.
Yeah, it's a PS1 game. It's like what 1998
Yeah.
is when the game came out.
You're like,
It does-
I didn't know nostalgia could hurt so much.
I mean, it does break the immersion a little bit.
Yeah, but because the core gameplay is so good and the world building and the lore and everything is so, I mean, there's a reason why it's so beloved, the game. So if you look past the graphics,
Which is really hard to do as a modern
yeah,
gamer.
for certain people that can be difficult, and
Yeah, it
I do
is.
understand.
It's very
Yeah.
difficult for me.
I mean,
But-
I think it would make sense if it was like maybe a 2D game or like some sort of graphic design that's like
Yeah.
timeless.
But like thing about
For
Final
that
Fantasy, when
one?
it first came out, it was like groundbreaking. It was the first 3D RPG game. I'm like, oh my god, this looks so real. But obviously now it's horrible.
like,
It's like, oh my god,
like, what was it?
this is horrible.
Tomb Raider? Like, oh wow, it looks so
Yeah,
realistic.
look at her, look at her boobs.
He
Yeah.
is a boob.
So, but I've very much enjoyed my time playing Final Fantasy 7, and I'm probably gonna finish it. Like I do want to finish the game because I do want to feel like it should be part of my history of a gamer that I
You
finished.
should get all the achievements.
Oh, that's too much. And there are no achievements to Switch anyway.
Oh, okay. That's one thing that
Yeah,
I've always
exactly.
wanted.
Me too. I do want because I like achievements.
Me too.
Yeah.
I like that dopamine.
Okay, so that's it for today. Pretty exciting week.
Don't
Mhm.
I get another game?
No. It's
mean, if you
over.
want-
It's over.
No.
no.
I was gonna show them Clash of Clans.
Anyway, I think today's last word is
it's me.
Kevin.
So starting this week, I do want to add an additional thing to the last word. Like now you can recommend anything. Just like, a short recommendation of
Like games,
a
books.
game, movie, a book,
Oh,
I don't know, porn. It could be anything.
What? I actually do not have a recommendation, but more like I was thinking more like the last word of the day.
Yeah,
Kind of.
I mean, but you could do both. Last word
Okay.
and recommendation.
So I'll just do. So the last word today is I realized we just
Wait, hit the music.
Yeah. Oh yes. Hit the music. Last episode was our 10th episode, so now
Yeah.
we actually hit our 2-digit milestone, which is.
I mean, 10
pretty
was
great.
Yeah.
a 2-digit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I think he had the last word today. Jun had the last word today last time. So I
Yeah.
was like, oh fuck, I can't mention it. So yeah, now
I was
we're on
actually
11
gonna mention
episode.
Yeah.
So whoever's listening, whoever's watching in the near future, I hope that you just keep on tuning into the Crowd Control podcast.
Maybe our future fans
Yeah.
who want to look back on our previous episodes
Oh yeah.
to you. I'm sure by then we have like 1 million subscribers by then.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
You can dream.
continue.
yeah.
Yes.
So
And that's the last word to wait. Just enjoy our crowd control podcast, and we'll just continue this as long as we can.
okay.
Thank
So
you so much.
Thank
we'll
you.
see you next week.